Hey everyone, how's it going today? I hope you have a great day. I've got several things, or two things in this video. I've got the crypto bubbles, the top gainers and losers, and then I have the XRP lawsuit and the IPO ETF situation with XRP, of course, and news evolving around that. Excuse me. But before we step into that, I want to remind everyone, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. Hit that like button. I hear, and it looks like it's been working, that each like creates the cryptocurrency to go up. So smash that like button. I say that jokingly. And leave a comment. That goes a long way. Help me grow. But first, I want to jump into the crypto bubbles. Let's look at the big loser today. Find it. Which one's the biggest bubble? I think it's over here. Okay, it's Hex once again. I think that was the big loser yesterday as well. In yesterday's video, we're at 1 cent, 1.6, and the low was 1.3, and we're at 1.4. So we're still in that same range. Not much going on there. Let's look at the big gainer, Mantra. We are at 540 as a low. The high was $7.90, and we are holding at $7.57. I said we are holding at it. The number started rolling. But anyway, I do not own either one of them. So let's jump into the big sisters, or the three sisters. Bitcoin, the low was 96,500. The high was 98,633. If we saw that on a graph, it would look like a big green candle. And we're currently, the average price right now is 97,600. So about halfway in between the high and the low right now. Let's jump into Ethereum. Let's see how that's going. Ethereum, the low was 2,600, or we can round that up to 700, and right now 2,788, and we're just $5 above the low. Well, it just dipped. Now it's $3 below or above the low, so 2,686. XRP, it's at a 2.3% gain. It is a gainer today. The low was $2.70. The high was $2.82. And right now we're at $2.77. So, crypto last week, it kind of reminds me of the old red light specials at Walmart. If you're from the States, or if you have a Walmart and you were a kid back in the 80s and 90s, they used to have this light. It was on a cart. They would flip it on, and red light special things throughout the store. And kind of like if you're a Kmart person, it was like a blue light special. But Walmart, with the red light, they sold things for 50% off, 60% off, different percentages there. Well, you think of crypto and what we've been experiencing as a kind of as a red light special. Buy the dips and sell the rips. Of course, I don't short sell anything, so I'm in for the long haul. But let's get into the news and what you came for. Maybe the crypto bubbles is what you came for. So anyway, once again, remember to subscribe, like, leave a comment, all that good stuff, share. Right here, this article was, or this was published back in January of last year of 2024, I believe. And of course, Brad Garlinghouse, he is talking about IPOs outside the United States. I'll let you listen and see what his answer is to that.
Invested in Ripple in 2012. So they've been in this deal for 11 and a half years. And so we want to provide that liquidity, which is one of the reasons why we've done these tender offers and now repurchased over $1 billion of stock. We have looked at other jurisdictions that have clearer rules of the road. But honestly, a lot of people go public because they need to raise capital.
Yeah.
Ripple's not really in a place where we need to raise capital. And so it is not a short-term.
Okay, so he's saying financially Ripple is just fine. I may have to go back to get to the point.
Priority. We're obviously keeping that option open, and we'll evaluate it, as time continues, and we'll evaluate it again as we have new regulators sitting at the United States SEC.
And I guess some of it's market dependent as well. Last year was an interesting space in the tech world more broadly. There were a lot of secondaries, buybacks, but very few IPOs. The market wasn't obviously very.
But I think it's indicative of why would we want to subject ourselves to an SEC that is openly hostile to this industry?
So in terms of an IPO, an exit of some sort, is that sort of parked to the side at this point?
Yeah, I mean,
or are you looking elsewhere outside the US for a listing?
Okay, the interviewer just asked Garlinghouse, would you be looking elsewhere outside the United States? And this is what I wanted to show you. Apparently my track got off a little bit, so let's see how Garlinghouse answers this.
I mean, yes to all of those. Okay. I don't think about an IPO as an exit. I think about an IPO as a step in the journey. Shareholder liquidity is important to me. We have investors that first invested in Ripple in 2012. So I don't think about an IPO as an exit. I think about an IPO as a step in the industry.
So in terms of an IPO, an exit of some sort, is that sort of parked to the side at this point?
Yeah, I mean,
or are you looking elsewhere outside the US for a listing?
I mean, yes to all of those.
Okay, so anyway, he said if this lawsuit doesn't go away or become settled, that they would do an IPO outside the United States. I think one of the reasons they want to do business in the United States is simply possibly because of lower taxes. I think that's really the gist of it all. So, and at the time, Gary Gensler was the chairman, and we all know by now that Gensler was pro or against. He was not crypto friendly, is what I'm trying to say here. So let's move on to the next video. I hope, of course, there's an ad here. Okay, of course, a little technical difficulty there, but what takes place in this video, Garlinghouse is asked about a possible IPO, and let's jump in and see what he says about a possible IPO at this point. Of course, now we have a new administration, the Trump administration in. We have a new crypto-friendly SEC chair in. And so I forgot the guy's name. Paul Atkins is now in. So we're going to see what he says about an IPO.
But is an IPO on the cards at some point?
Well, I think we want to get certainty and clarity in the United States with the U.S. SEC. I'm hopeful that the SEC will not slow that process down any more than they already have. But we certainly at a point in scale where that is a possibility, and we'll look at that once we're past this lawsuit with the SEC.
Okay.
After last month's massive soul,
I didn't intend for that commercial to play, but it has a mind of its own, I guess. And X out some of these. And I have one final part of the lawsuit. Of course, tax day is a big day. Of course, it's a big day for us, but it's going to be a big day for Ripple and XRP as well, because here it is. Ripple requested a deadline of April 16th, 2025 to submit its official response in the ongoing case. Now, that does not mean that the lawsuit is over. They're just submitting their response. And then, of course, the ETFs, once we see an end to the lawsuit, we can see these IPOs, ETFs, take off. And if this happens, once again, in my last video, I talked about XRP potentially reaching $100. Go back and check that one out. I'll try to link it. I don't think I'm verified to do that yet. So help me to become verified by liking, subscribing, and leaving comments, interacting with the channel. But the ETFs, of course, the XRP ETFs, Wisdom Tree, Bitwise, 21 Shares, Canary Capital, they have filed for XRP based ETFs that could be very favorable for the price of XRP to rise. So once again, now when all these take place, when this takes place, I don't think it's going to be probably this time next year. I can see when all this is taking place. This is going to be a slow process. It's not an overnight process. So if you're looking to get rich overnight, this isn't going to be for you. Go try something else. This is going to be a slow get rich process. So anyway, with that being said, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence when it comes to investing. I'm not responsible for any gains or losses. So until next time, remember, treat others like you want to be treated, and I'll see ya.